The world in general is in competition with each other, having the fastest car, nicest house, the greenest grass. But how about the fastest gun? Need buttons, licorice, or a frilly dress? Storekeeper George Temple can get them for you, and it's killing him. Temple is a man tormented by the path he's chosen. He knows his real talent is gunslinging, as Temple, played by Glenn Ford, is at his stoic best in this brooding tale of a man between security and a deadly skills he fears to use. Fastest Gun Alive. I've been a fan of this film since my grandpa introduced it to me when I was a kid. Glenn Ford, always been a fan of his with 310 to Yuma, Gilda, Superman, his dad, Superman's dad. You know, Glenn Ford's one of those great actors that, you know, kind of went under the radar for so long, and maybe he had his mainstream success in these westerns, but he never quite got the recognition as like a Bogart or a Jimmy Stewart. But Glenn Ford's right on par with those guys. So I did pick up the Blu-ray a few years ago, and it's not a Blu-ray. So I did pick up the DVD a few years ago. It's basically a VHS import. The quality is just horrible. So when Warner Archive announced that they were releasing The Fastest Gun Alive on Blu-ray for the first time, I was stoked. And I have to say, the new restoration is fantastic. It looks amazing. The black and white, it just really pops. And there's no HDR on here, but I have to imagine that the restoration was thorough, and not sure if it's a 2K restoration. It looked damn good though. Looked great, like a 4K restoration. So I'm glad that Warner Archive went back and gave due to this Western. Basically, George Temple, played by Glenn Ford, is battling these demons throughout. Broderick Crawford taunts and terrorizes the gunman. He's the bad guy in this, and fantastic bad guy. He's got a lot of great lines, and he's like, I gotta know. I gotta know. It's like a drug addict. You gotta know if he's the fastest gun. You know, it sounds like a comedy. And some of it plays like a comedy. There's a guy that's in the middle of the movie, he's giving the bad guy like the route. And he's marking with like the old school kindergarten playground thing where you take a stick out, hit the dirt, like, yeah, we're going to go this way, we're going to go that way, and this way, and that way. So like he's an expert in navigation, but the navigation system is basically dirt and rocks. But back to Glenn Ford. Glenn Ford carries this film to the end, to the conclusion that takes place outside of a church, which makes sense because Glenn Ford is like, I want to get rid of this life, I want to get rid of these demons, you know, I have scars, I've killed people in the past. Let's just have a showdown, see who's the fastest gun, and bury this. If you're looking for a fun time, a fun quick Western that's kind of unique, a little comical now, there's even a dance number. As far as the special features, randomly there's a Tom and Jerry cartoon on here, Blue Cat Blues and Downbeat Bear, and a theatrical trailer. So nothing related to the movie beside the trailer. Let me know below your comments. Have you seen The Fastest Gun Alive? Did you pick up this new Blu-ray from Warner Archive? And as always, this has been Return of the Disc. I'm Dan.